How awesome is this location? I'm Shane Freeze, community developer of World of Darkness. We have some amazing things to show you. Before we do, the City of New Orleans has asked for a moment of our time. Please welcome New Orleans City Attorney Bob Ellis.
Do you know how to tell the lawyer's line?
And next we're special welcome to CCP CEO, all the way from Reykjavik, Iceland, Dilmar Peterson.
This is
Mayor, today has asked me to convey a certificate of proclamation on behalf of the City of New Orleans and its wonderful residents, welcoming CCP to its first annual conference and congratulating on the success of the Grand Masquerade. We're proud that you've chosen New Orleans and hope to see you again soon. Have fun.
You know that show's going to be bigger being the 20th.
Fellow kindred. We are of course deeply honored by this recognition on behalf of the Mayor of New Orleans. This is the first time I come to New Orleans, but already I feel this sense of resilience, which is not unlike what I feel in my own country, Iceland, which has seen volcanoes and financial crisis and what. And it's obvious that here in New Orleans we have some tough people, so we should applaud them. And this is the first event that I've been a part of, as sort of celebrating the intellectual properties that White Wolf has been doing for 20 years. And it already feels, again, very similar to what I have experienced at the various different fan events. So I'm also deeply honored to be here. And if you could help me get the founder of CCP, Reynir, voted as the Prince of Reykjavik. And I will be deeply honored as well. We actually figured out though yesterday that we could just claim it. But we have this plan, which is the hard way of doing it, so we have people talking to the Justice Car, and we hope we will get it official. I would also want to congratulate Shane on the awesome job he has done on providing this venue and getting all the different fan organizations together under one roof, which I'm told is most people matter. So let's all give Shane a hand.
Over the last 2 years, I've met thousands of fans from countries all over the world. I've poured a hell of a lot of drinks. I've learned an amazing amount of new things. One of those things I've learned is called remedial PowerPoint. And today, I get to show off my PowerPoint skills that some of you have seen, one hopefully final time. And of all the things I've seen and done and experienced, my past 15 years working with Vampire, the most amazing by far is this. 5 World of Darkness fan organizations in one place, at one time, under one roof. It's an unprecedented moment that a lot of people believe or thought could never happen. And I'm extremely excited to say that on the eve of our 20th anniversary, those people were dead up here behind the podium and take all the credit for that accomplishment. The real truth is, I'm just the messenger. This has been a team effort, and I've had an unprecedented level of support, both within CCP and without, that quite literally spans the globe. In the time allotted to me today, I can't possibly do justice to the amount of people, time, and effort that's been put forth to make this event possible. But with that being said, there are a few people we absolutely must thank. The first would be our fan club. The first would be, and most notably, are our fan clubs, and some key people who emerged as partners from within those clubs. Without their ability and vision to come together and make this happen, none of this would have been possible. In the past, there have been challenges, real and perceived, to the accomplishment of this. But these 5 individuals really stood up and went well beyond anything that could have been expected. So it's because of their time, trust, and effort that we are all here today. So please, if you see them in the hall or running a game, take them a moment. Thank you for their effort.
That's a pretty sweaty picture of Jen right there. That's like a Facebook photo.
Yeah,
Or
totally.
a MySpace photo.
From like 7 years ago.
Trust me, you were cuter on MySpace.
Our own Oscar Garza from the Elder Kidder Network. Jen Bars, head coordinator from One World by Night. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Rick Connolly from the Camarilla Fan Club.
Well, it's official, we're outnumbered.
They're used to this.
And Jeffrey Fowler from the Guru Nation. As many of you know, we packed a weekend full of games, parties, and events and guests. I'd like to introduce a few of our guests who we've brought out for you this weekend. We have a lot of friends at CCP, people that go back a long ways. The first of which I'd like to introduce is Mr. Matt Burke. Matt is Matt's an original pioneer and founder of the Camarilla Fan Club. He was their first president, and he helped pioneer the live-action revolution back in 1992. I could say there wouldn't be a Camarilla, and there arguably wouldn't be a lot of fan organizations that came subsequently if it wasn't for Matt. Matt helped start the original ICC convention 15 years ago, and it's very fitting that Matt joins us all this time later to see something that he helped start come full circle. For our VTest fans, we have L. Scott Johnson here this weekend. L. Scott's been the lead designer for all of the VTest sets Bright Wolf has published. We're excited to have him here and help the VTest North American Championship, taking place this year in New Orleans, be the most exciting ever.
Really? Cover artwork for 36
We have 2 of the prolific World of Darkness artists ever to grace the pages and covers of our books here this weekend for you. The first of which is Mr. Ken Meyer Jr. Ken's beautiful portraits and stylized Gothic images help define Vampire the Masquerade and many of the franchise's most memorable characters.
Your router's book. The Terminator 3 of Brightwood.
Vampire the Masquerade launched the careers of a plethora of creative and talented individuals over the years, but few, if any, would be as prolific as the legendary Tim Bradstreet. Literally put Vampire on the map. Tim's a pretty busy guy these days. He does movie posters and stuff. But he took the time out of his schedule to do an amazing program book cover for us and come out and sign copies. So if you have the time, make sure to stop by and say hello to our guests this weekend because they're here to see you. So on the topic of exciting things going on this weekend, there's more than a few people that are looking forward to this. Yes, our infamous party returns, part of being the advantage of picking New Orleans, as we said. The words "last call" are not in their vocabulary. As you know, we're having our at a super secret offset location. Invitation should have been given out. It goes from 11 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. There will be shuttle services. If you have any questions, you can ask myself. Stacy Eustace, right there, or any of the CCP staff you see. Either way, let's make this one epic. I only have a few more things I want to touch on before I move on and let you get to the good stuff you're actually here to see. I want to talk about the promises that we made our community in the last year. And while we broadcasted the majority of these from our Camarilla convention in Atlanta, they were directed at the entire World of Darkness community. So I want to take a moment and touch on each one of those that are here today. We promised our fans we would throw the most impressive, stylistic convention in the most iconic vampire city in the world. Fuck Transylvania. As you can see, this promise was a major undertaking. They expended a lot of resources, time, and money. But we're happy to say it was the biggest and most ambitious project promise, and we made it, and we followed through on it. In doing so, we are hoping that this builds the foundations and rebuilds and establishes the trust we wish to have with all of our fans and fan organizations. I do have some specific updates for those fan organizations, and I'd like to start with our VTES fan club, the Elder Kidder Network. The Elder Kidder Network, in my opinion, is the Chuck Norris of the World of Darkness community. They're just badasses and they can't be killed. Our promise to the VTES community this year was to give you a solid and clear resolution on the status of VTES and where the franchise was going moving forward. Unfortunately, not all promises end up with a happy ending. We made a really exhaustive effort to resolve our licensing issues surrounding the Deckmaster mechanic with Wizards of the Coast. Unfortunately, we weren't able to resolve those issues, and VTES once again must go into torpor. As someone who worked for Wizards of the Coast on VTES back during its first incarnation, I can say that the one thing I learned about this game and the community that surrounded it is they have proven, if they are nothing else, extremely resilient, and that torpor is by no means final death. Remember, games only go away when people stop playing them, and if history teaches us anything, is that VTES and your community are not going away anytime soon. As unbelievable as it may seem, White Wolf never had a fan club for its tabletop games, and every attempt to start one never seemed to work out. However, one senior demo team, the Wrecking Crew, has more than risen to that occasion. They've been the cornerstone of our tabletop community, running hundreds, if not thousands of demos over more years than I can possibly count. Our promise to them is recognition, and thanks for the endless hours of entertaining people and introducing them to our franchise via our tabletop games. Like the well-oiled machine they are, they're running over a dozen events at the Grand Masquerade. If you have the opportunity to play in one, assuming they're already full up, the Wrecking Crew are the best at what they do.
Wolverine, man.
Nation are the largest and only Werewolf the Apocalypse fan club in existence. These guys came out of nowhere at the 11th hour and made a game-winning slam dunk at the buzzer beater. We actually realized the World of Darkness fan base is not entirely made up of just vampire fans. And we're excited to welcome them into our expanded community and promise them, like all of our groups, that we will continue to expand upon our communications and the ability to evolve as part of a larger community. Thanks guys for coming here. They had 100 people here last night. They were only signed up a week ago. On the topics of large communities, one fan club throughout the years has stood out as our largest, longest running independent fan club, and that would be One World by Night. LL Cool J once wrote a lyric in a song that said, "Don't call it a comeback, because I ain't never been gone." One World by Night never left the World of Darkness community. They're devout fans of the original World of Darkness. And they stuck to their guns and they played what they wanted to play their way, and that was the right decision. Our promise to you is that you will always remain independent, and we thank you for being here.
Ouch.
That brings Camarillo Fan Club. It's been a long 18 years since Matt started back in Seattle in 1992. It's gone through a plethora of changes, evolutions, and controversies. Throughout it all, this community, which could arguably be called the first community, continues and prospers. We made a number of commitments to the Camarillo last year, some of which we fulfilled, others which do remain a work in progress. We promised we could play the games they wish to play, which in turn has led to a considerably revitalized Vampire the Masquerade community.
Yeah, no one likes Requiem. Sorry, Shane. You just don't.
The biggest issue on the docket that most people are interested in is the Camarillo is once again to be a fully independent and autonomous organization, much in the same way as their sister organizations. We're going to make this happen. We're going to make it happen soon. However, there are a lot of details on this topic and specific ones, and we're going to go over them with you at the Camarillo membership open meeting right before closing ceremonies on Sunday. But what we want you to know is we are committed to this and to further our long-standing partnership with the Camarillo Fan Club and to all of our fan organizations. Our next commitment is one regarding a suite of digital online tools built for the various fan clubs and fan organizations to help facilitate their inner needs. In the digital age, this type of gaming has evolved, and we're aware of that. As with a number of other things, this is a very complex effort. As previously announced, we have partnered with Lone Wolf Development, makers of the Hero Builder system. And we're currently speaking with a number of the more technically savvy members of each of our fan organizations, so that this suite of tools is specific and customizable to the community's needs. We will have further information on this very, very soon. Publishing program, or specifically print on demand. What we want to do this year is to gauge exactly what the interest would be in these books and if the process would actually work. When I first reached out to establish communication with One World by Night back in January, one of the first things that was asked of me is, quite literally, was there any way to get any old copies of Laws of the Night? I'd like to think at this point the answer is yes. So with that feedback, we had our partner, Director RPG, produce a number of test copies that I gave out at various conventions to see the reaction. At this time, I'm very happy to say that our print-on-demand program, through our partner, Director RPG, will be going forward. As of January 2011, a number of original and New World of Darkness books will become available in a print-on-demand process. For those of you not familiar with print-on-demand, what that means is you simply have to go online, you press a button, and that book will then get custom printed and shipped to you directly. So, the answer to the question that's going through your head right now is yes, eventually you should have access to our entire back catalog of World of Darkness.
But nobody
presentation, one thing I want all the fan organizations to realize is that while we value your uniqueness, and our goal is not and will never be to merge our fan clubs or anything of that nature, we want to make each one of you realize that you are part of a whole. This room is our community. Much like fingers on the hand, each individual can have their unique function and do their own thing. When they come together as a fist, there's strength in them. Let's be honest, there's plenty of competition for us all to have outside this room. We don't need to have it with each other. Because the things that we love, the things that we all value are far stronger than any of our individual stylistic differences. And if I have one message that you can all show everyone, and we can show the world, is one unified World of Darkness community. And now the really exciting stuff. The person I'm going to introduce next has been with White Wolf since the very, very beginning. He self-designed the original Vampire the Masquerade. He conceived many of the archetypes of the original plans. He's one of the founders of the company. He's the one that's going to show us the future. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome World of Darkness senior producer, the one, the only, Chris McDonough.
I'm already following that. That was rock star right there, man. That was really good. Sorry, my iPad was going off the notification chain. That must have been distracting. I also wondered where he was going when he started that fist thing. Like, not in front of everyone, Shane. So bring up my PowerPoint here. That's right, it's very dark in the middle of darkness. Unless I need a drink. I'll get to that later, I think. Okay, so first I just hope everybody's happy with the arrangements. I know the team worked really hard to make this an amazing event, and it really shows. I feel like we need to give one more big shout out to Shane. And also to our marketing department, who's been running all of the check-in and getting everything organized. These guys have been putting in 12 and 14-hour days. They've been busting ass, and it's been amazing. So let's give a big round of applause for those guys. I know a lot of you guys are here just for the party invitations, so I'm going to try to keep this to under 3 hours.
We don't have to start cam, I'm alright.
I did think I would show you guys at least a few of the photos I took from around the event, because some of them are really cool, and this hotel is just amazing, and you guys are amazing. One that was scary reminded me of something from my room. And here, of course, is the wannabe kingmaker of the Icelandic prince playing last night. He was really into it. So if you see him tonight, you guys should tell him that I'm going to be Prince of Iceland. I just declared it. I'm not going through the Justicar declaration. So I'm here to talk about the World of Darkness MMO. Before you guys get too crazy, I just need to say up front. I know everybody's expecting something big, but I don't want to be a downer, but we're not going to be going into a bunch of details about the game or features or anything like that. We're going to be showing some concept art, and we're going to be talking about some broad themes and giving some other information, okay? So,
how about a release date?
Don't go crazy. Don't kill me when this is over. I have to dole this out a little bit. So, what I'm doing is giving you a sort of status update and sharing the first small shadows of what we might see in the future. So we could have chosen a computer game industry event to make our first public statements about this game, but we didn't want to do that. We wanted to come to you guys, the fans who supported us over the last 20 years, and make sure that you heard things from us first. World of Darkness will not be happening. Also, you guys have kept me in the job for 20 years, so I'm pretty happy. You have my thanks from the bottom of my heart. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I thought I would start with a little summary of how all this insanity started in a little town called Stone Mountain. We were just a bunch of college kids looking to make what we hope would be the greatest role-playing game of all time. That was called Grand Masquerade. This was me in 1991. At my wedding. I was going to wear that tux tonight, but it didn't come back from the dry cleaners in time. On the left there, you see Mark Ryan. I'm trying real hard. That's right, she can do it for me. Mark Ryan Hagen on the left, and then Stuart Wick on the right. That was the year that Vampire the Masquerade came out. And over the years, it's brought amazing opportunities. Hundreds of game books, novels, comic books, card games, board games, merchandising, LARPing, Kindred the Embraced. And of course, computer games. So, when I was growing up, role-playing games were my life, and these were my friends. These guys were my social structure. They brought every good friend I ever had into my life. Role-playing games did. You know, this is a photo of those guys. And man, did the ladies love us. And I'm telling you, if they had YouTube back then, that kid with the lightsaber, nothing compared to us. But as funny as that is, there were important times in my life, and it brought me lifelong friends and a social network that I still cherish today. There I am again, on the second from the right, with my D&D buddies. And I always wanted to be able to give that experience back to anybody that, was struggling growing up like me, and, a social network that you can share friends and imaginary places and experiences with. Experiences that sometimes were more important than my real world, And while what we achieved with White Wolf was amazing, what we have coming up is going to make all that pale by comparison. So you guys want to hear a little bit more? So, like all things, I marched on. Sorry, Shane, that was the time. But all things, marched on looking at technology. There were muds and mushes and IRC, and we were involved in our own way, and we had our own little successes, like the Activision PC games and Bloodlines. Which is a great game, modern classic. We worked on it. Yes. But when we saw the first version of the EverQuest, I think that's when we all felt that the future of games was going to change, and we wanted to be a part of it. And that doesn't mean that we think that people aren't going to play games face-to-face and in person like you guys are doing, but we also know that there's a whole community of kids that are growing up that live their social lives a different way than we did. And we... Is that a dog? Hell yeah, dog. You shout it out, brother. It's a white wolf. Dog, dirty bastard. So, while White Wolf had the drive to make something like that, we didn't have the ability. And after years of trying to do it on our own, we were real close to licensing the rights away to a third-party company to do a game for us, and then something amazing happened. This country came along. We've been in a bar. These guys spend half their year dwelling in eternal darkness. So, and they shared our vision for worlds that are important as real life. And CCP is an amazing company that came in, and incredibly, instead of wanting to control the rights and make a game themselves, they wanted the original creators to make it. And they would bring funding and technical knowledge to add to our world creation skills. It was a perfect match, and we knew we were kindred spirits. I'll be filking later. Anyway, they loved our products, and they ran their company the same way we do, on a lot of liquor. And a lot of integrity. And as an afterthought, But they had a product that was rapidly becoming the envy of the MMO world. And that product is first toast, EVE Online is the MMO that is redefining MMOs for the next generation. It's getting away from sales storylines and putting the power and control into the player's hands. It's the very thing that we hope to do with World of Darkness. So, it's in your hands. So over the last few years, we've merged into one company with a single vision, and we're able to achieve things that neither could alone. And most importantly of all, CCP believes in World of Darkness. Thought I would share some numbers with you to sort of illustrate that belief. Over the course of almost 20 years, we sold over 8 million pen and paper role-playing game books. We estimate we have about 2 million fans worldwide, some of which are here today. EVE Online recently hit a milestone of 350,000 subscribers, and it has had over 2 million players come through the door over the course of its existence. And according to some estimates, EVE Online is the second largest MMO in all of America. It's a big deal. And even more interestingly, I didn't hear that, but I'll heckle back. I knew you weren't heckling. Anyway, even more interestingly, the country of Iceland, where it comes from, only has less than 300,000 people. So EVE is literally larger than the country it comes from. So what do you get when you combine spaceships and vampires? Not really. What we get actually is an amazingly diverse audience able to understand the size and scope of what we're trying to do, which is revolutionize the game industry. First with groundbreaking games like EVE, and then following it up with something world-changing like World of Darkness. You also get this guy. This is our creative director. He's an amazing visionary and the original designer of EVE Online. He's also a World of Darkness fan, and he's using his knowledge of EVE Online and its creation and his knowledge of game design to craft something that's unlike any other game out there. He's here at the show. Say hi, Ray, raise your hand. He is also a hell of a drinker, so stay away from him. He will drink you over the table and then slap the shit out of you. So we've already established that, a challenge. She would like to be slapped red. It's gonna cost you. So we've already established that World of Darkness has been a big but poorly kept secret, but how long have we been working on it? So behind the scenes, we've been working on it for 3 years. And that may seem like a long time, but during this time, the company's been dedicating resources to keeping up with the enormous growth of EVE Online. In Atlanta, we spent a lot of that time building a studio and helping construct technology to make the most advanced character creation and customization system in the world. It's referred to as Carbon. You'll be seeing the fruits of those labors later this year and next year when EVE Online begins to battle test the Carbon technology in EVE. So in terms of actual gameplay and features for World of Darkness, we've been doing that for more like a year and a half. We've been working on actually building gameplay. And we still have a very long way to go. Also, I would like to note that the art that you're looking up here is concept art that's been done by our art team, and our art manager Morgan Godat is here. You can give him a round of applause if you like the art that So, as far as the size of the project goes, I mean, how many people does it take to make a modern MMO that's expected to have millions of players? Well, to give you some idea of CCP's dedication to the project, at the time of the merger, White Wolf was the second biggest role-playing game in the world, company in the world. And over the last 2 years, the staff has grown by 6 times. So we're 6 times as large as we were at our peak of producing role-playing games. As a matter of fact, some of our folks are here now. So if you're currently involved in World of Darkness development, please stand up. Everybody, these are the guys that are working on the future of the game. See them say hi, but don't call them with questions because they crack really easy. It's all still secret. Seriously, no talking. And how much time has been spent by the team creating World of Darkness? 629,000 hours, or the equivalent of 314 man-years. That's already been spent which is also the equivalent of he could have done it all himself in a year, but he was planning this show, so he didn't have time. So what's all this time spent going to get us? Well, it's going to get us the most ambitious virtual world ever created. It's a project that will appeal to the widest spectrum of gamers possible. It's going to have political intrigue. It's going to have deadly combat. And it's going to maintain an air of sensuality. And it will contain the most advanced character creation system ever seen in this market.
I want to see the ugly motherfucker.
We've even gone as far as to hire a team of fashion artists to ensure that this game is like virtual cosplay heaven. You'll get almost everything. And you'll be able to see some of that stuff upcoming in the new year. So our design goal has been to divide the product up into 3 segments, each equally represented in game. So 1/3 of the game will appeal to what we refer to as the coffee shop. These are political players who like to spend their time socializing and enhancing social networks, not unlike what happens at a LARP event. Another third is dedicated to the theme park player, those people who like to explore the world and seek out danger and mystery. And the final third is designed to appeal to those who crave the sandbox experience, manipulating, controlling portions of the world to empower themselves and those who join with them to take over and control areas that they can influence. They become movers and shakers through force, strategy, and political maneuvering. That's our goal. Each one of these aspects of the game feeds into the other to create a virtual economy that's fueled by blood that requires all of these player types to survive. So we're really hoping that this ambitious game design will capture a lot of different styles of play that can all work together to create one world and one environment. I'm pretty excited about this. We've also come to refer internally to these areas of the game as mystery, romance. Let me get to that slide. There we go. Romance, which represents social interactions between players that form bonds. And power, the political and world-controlling elements of the sandbox. Mystery, which represents the world of darkness, history, and lore, and making sure that we stay true to all of that. And danger, which is the theme park elements and environmental stories that you can participate in the game. These are posters that we had made in our office to hang on the walls to remind everybody of the moods and the themes that we wanted to capture. And to get to what will probably be your biggest question, so I'm dying to play this. Sounds great. When will it be done? Well, don't get your hopes up too high. Because it is not going to be out in 2010. I can promise you that. And, so that probably means 2012, right? No, that's iffy. So don't take that to mean that it's not going to come out in 2012. It's actually going to come out when it's done. It's done when it feels right, and we know this group of people is going to come. So obviously, you guys have heard me mention blood and vampires and politics. So that brings me to the announcement that I know a lot of you guys have been speculating about for a long time, which is what version of what White Wolf product is this game going to be based on?
3rd edition.
And the answer is...
You're not going to tell me.
Debate, we felt like, you know, and looking at the data we had from the fan community, we felt like Vampire the Masquerade was the setting that best encompassed our goals for the launch of the World of Darkness. That doesn't mean that we won't have other supernatural creatures and other elements taken from other books and expansions and cover a lot of different playable types. And we may roll them out in later expansions as happened with the original White Wolf rollouts of other books. But But in order to make the best experience that we felt like we could, we felt like we needed to focus our efforts on making the best game that we could out of the Kindred of Grand Masquerade. So we're not constraining or limiting ourselves in any way, though, and we will borrow materials if we need to. So you might see surprises and references to other things show up. Nice dice. Oh, dice. Oh, yeah. All right, so I don't know what that was, but I appreciate it.
You're pulling around.
So now that you guys know what setting the game is based on and when it's not coming out, we wanted to show you one last thing. But since we didn't really have anything ready for public display, I thought, you know, we could at least show you this cool animated little board we have. So you guys want to see that?
I'm going to do that on all the black-handed clothing.
You guys want to see it again? Let's see. There it is. One more time! One more! So you can see the third time. So thanks for coming. Enjoy the weekend. And you guys have a drink on me. Oh. You know what? I'm just fucking. I mean, I know I said we weren't going to show anything but concept art. And that's sort of true. But we know you guys have been waiting a long time and you have a big weekend ahead of you. We wanted to give you something to at least talk about, get you excited about the game, and just showing the logo didn't seem to be enough. So, you know, we can't leave you empty-handed, like Shane tried to earlier. Sorry, Shane. So, we put something together just for you guys. This was made to capture the mood and the feel that we're going to try to pursue with World of Darkness MMO. It's